agree.
The bans come out. Naga Siren this time with the Night Stalker and the Luna, so still respecting that Naga Siren and the strength that FY showed on it.
Those are some badass pictures, man.
They're really cool.
Who's in the middle? Is that Chalice? I don't think so.
Yeah, I could not tell.
Yeah, so what do you ban if you... Yes!
They did it. Whew. Gone.
Thank goodness.
Clap.
I mean, that's just like, what an awful way to start a BO. To start a BO2, or BO5 rather. You win, lose a game against, lose a game with, you're like, oh crap, we need 3 in a row.
Yeah.
This is going to be a clock ban.
I mean, if there's any region that can pull it off, it's in a Dota, am I right? I'm going to act like Kyle gave me an affirmation nod there.
I'll go along with it.
Thank you. So what's LGD's first pick? They just going to go the gyro again, you think? Ban clock, go gyro?
I think you... Oh, they ban. I think they first pick clock,
Yeah.
though.
Okay. And if they ban clock, you pick gyro?
Sounds good to me.
I dig it.
You could also just take something else out and then you get one of the other ones yourself. Is it that hard to play clockwork or gyro into clockwork?
It's pretty rough. It's not like game ending, but
It's just a natural blade mail buyer. You punish him in the laning phase because he's so mana dependent, and you just kind of trade, and then eventually you're level 6. You can hook him, set up kills for your team. Vision advantage as well. Ban the
okay,
Wisp.
so they get rid of the wisp, so you take clock.
Banning 2 heroes they picked in the previous draft.
Ugh. Yeah, that was their opener.
Yeah, like, we're not doing that again, guys. Good idea, though.
The thought was there. Now it's not. Yeah, I really like the clock pick here. And then
I mean, there's no way they don't pick that, right? When you can
Yeah.
see they're going to ban it twice and then just leave it. Like, hey, you know, it's been working, but you know what? Take this hero that you keep playing around super well.
I think they picked Disruptor plus.
I think gyro's still decent here.
I really hope they don't pick gyro. I
Same.
feel like that's just forcing it.
You
It's
can't,
like,
yeah, you can't first 2 gyro in this spot against a clock open.
just stop picking your comfort zone heroes into crap that counters it.
Yeah.
Basically, like it's good that you have your playstyle, but if you just keep picking heroes that are countered, it doesn't matter how well you play them. If the other teams, yeah, there's Disruptor, and
They're just gonna go. They don't go like Disruptor Tusk or something, do they? Ugh.
I mean, it's that or you give it back away to LGD, right? Like,
But I'm fine with that. I don't know. Pick open
Razor or
something
I
weird.
don't know.
Yeah, open with the. I don't know. Go like
Disruptor Omni. I don't
Tusk Razor. Yeah, like sure anything, but just something different to build around. I think you're using LGD's opener from the previous game into a hero design. Like Clockwork +1 is great against Disruptor Gyro. They're very mana dependent. They focus more on harass to soften up the heroes in their lane until they can find kills, and you're just gonna cogs them back with 3 mangoes.
To sort of play devil's advocate
Razor.
again here, you do have. They don't have the Death Prophet this time, which is like sort of a little bit of a silver lining there if you're VGJ.Storm, and maybe they think, okay, this is a good opening if they don't have Death Prophet.
I think they're. I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
I think that they're
Well,
still
SVG thinks
drafting.
so.
I think they're drafting reactively, and I think that they feel like LGD is the better team. Just looking at the way that they're opening and banning, it's not like they're shook or anything.
You think LGD's the better team?
Yeah, but you don't need to draft like they are.
Okay.
Medusa banned again. Like again, now Luna was already taken out. You don't need to ban Morphling because VGJ has the gyro this time. You have more freedom to think about, okay, what is resolution play here that's going to beat us?
I mean, Slark is now, I think, a little bit better this game, but yeah, they're going to take it out.
Yeah, they had the ban morph, I think, even when you have Disruptor.
I'd agree. There's a Lycan in the pool too, though, bear in mind.
Oh, gosh. I feel like if they don't ban one of, like, whatever one of those they don't ban is being 4th picked by LGD. And they even have Doom left in the pool as well, which...
But against clock, it's
Yeah, I don't want to pick it in the clock.
Can they just take Morphling here for VGJ.Storm, or do you not think it's good enough?
I think it's too early to pick both cores like that. That
Yep.
means you've shown Rezo's hero. And, I mean, you mentioned that they might try to do that, but they banned the morph.
I think that's the right play. You don't want to pick it and leave 2 heroes for LGD, and you definitely don't want to leave it with 3. And I think if you leave it in this pool, LGD takes a third, 100%.
Yeah.
I think you have to pick Tusk. It's pretty good against Clock. It's like one of your heroes you love playing. I'm not saying it's like the most amazing pick in the game, but like I just don't see what else.
I'd
VGJ
rather
could pick here.
a Furion.
A Furion, huh? Against Jakiro?
I don't care. I think you don't. You just trade against him, and you play faster on the map, and you can take towers before Clock is actually online to deal with
Talking
you.
about 4 position or 3?
Yeah, 4 position. 4
Okay.
position Furion. I feel like LGD is just abusing you in lanes. Pick something that prevents them from doing so, and take those towers. Get the tempo going naturally, and that's what a hero like Furion gives you. You know, this easy earn buyer. You're going to take map control really early on. Ooh. Where they go, Rubik?
Snap
And
pick.
snack
Okay,
lamb.
they didn't even wait till 4th pick.
They don't need to. I mean, it's just they can play it 3 and 1, right? So this is the perfect tri-core or tri-hero if you're LGD, because you have 2 heroes left. They can be for any of your 2 core players. The
Yeah,
LGD,
They played it off lane like
yeah, it can be Chalice or Ame, and it's crazy good in this game.
Yeah.
You are not threatened by Rubik Disruptor Gyro.
Yeah,
You're
that's
gonna
why
get a
I
Necro
didn't
and
think
run
they'd
in.
pick like a Rubik
Mm-hmm.
type hero. It's good against Clock plus Jakiro, but you have to be more concerned about what you're about to see, not necessarily what is already in front of you.
Yep. And you got to see, like, they're always going to pick Lycan here.
Yeah. How do you respond? Something like a Tide, maybe?
I don't know. It could be. But all the offlaners you'd want to pick kind of just get killed by Clock. One of the reasons this hero's so powerful, whether it's LC, Tide, Doom, even Brew, none of them really feel good. I think Brew is probably your best bet, but I'm still concerned.
I like Brewer Omni. I'm not saying they're. I mean, that's
I'd
their
rather Omni. I would rather Omni, for sure.
best. You have the Rubik already. Not saying they
Yeah.
would pick Rubik.
But
to
if
counter
they
it, but
if you Omni, I think you might get OD'd.
What would be the issue there with Ren, the OD? Just
What do
that
you
you
mean?
get destroyed? Is the Omni? I mean, what's the danger of picking OD here for a LGD for
There isn't
VGJ.Storm? Okay.
I
Oh,
think
well, you mean why is Omni OD good?
Yeah.
Oh, or Razor, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
Razor
it's a
too.
better Razor game, to be fair. Like, you don't want to get Astral stolen, and Razor just has a much cleaner matchup against Gyro Omni. It's more of this hero's just better, and it beats your 4 heroes assembled right now.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, Razor Lycan, they are ready to run at people. That is for sure.
Yep. Now you pick just something that covers the weakness of your draft, I would say. You want another playmaker. Razor, Lycan, going to be able to be the connectors, but you want something that just guarantees your lane wins.
Here's a question. What is it that VGJ.Storm's draft does well right now? Because there's got to be something here.
It's
You
not
tell me
about-
it's bad.
It's not about what their draft does. It's about what their matchups are against LGD and the way LGD has been playing the games. Right now, you're going to get your Gyro pressured, and he's just got 3 heroes in the enemy team that just kind of crush him. Rubik Disruptor, naturally low HP, low armor, like low impact, low
10
damage.
seconds remaining.
You look at LGD, like they're going to have a 2,000 HP Razor Lycan by 15 minutes.
Remaining.
What are you going to do to stop them? How do you combat a BKB Razor at the moment? They ban OD themselves. They could be setting up
Queen of
for...
Pain?
Not bad.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a tempo controller. Plays with pace around the map. Can make moves. Lycan Razor going to constantly shove lanes, clock off map. Razor, Jakiro, like, think about the last game. Look at how easily they protect Jakiro now. You have clock, Lycan Razor, a Quap connecting. You got this 3-1-1 football formation. Jakiro
It's-
safe
Don't forget it's maybe
in the back.
on their team, as well as the fact that you can't pick Viper, one of the
Yeah.
hardest lane counters to the Queen of Pain, because they have this Razor like, and there's no way you can pick Viper. And so it's just a secure pick like that can't really get countered. I think they might go something like they need a second core, but
What's the
Uh,
core?
uh,
You could TA. It's not the greatest game,
against
but I
Razor.
think it at least gives you a win condition, man. The PL's gone. Like, what else is it? You have so much you need to deal with. What hero doesn't die to clock can Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a rough one. I don't even think it's VGJ making mistakes. This is like a draft straight out of the qualifiers, but they're just playing against a team that is just on fire.
Well, Storm Spirit.
Now select your heroes.
Okay. It gives them a win condition, but
It could work.
it could work. Honestly, it could work.
I still fear for their damage output. I think that Razor is going to link the gyrocopter, and all of a sudden, it feels like VGJ's team fight damage output's going to shrink by like 3% every second that somebody's drained.
Here's how I look at it. Ame and maybe even Somnus to get BKBs, and then VGJ.Storm's lineup
Yep.
legitimately does no damage.
It's always an issue when you have no way to really deal BKB piercing damage. The win condition, however, will come into the ultra late game when you have a 4-slotted gyro with flak. When you
Okay.
have Storm with like a 3rd or 4th item that can easily pick off the Jakiro.
Or force BKBs and then
Mhm.
disengage.
That seems to me like the better option, and maybe you itemize with a bunch of force staffs on people, but again, that's not easy when you've got a ton of heroes that can run at you from
Out
LGD.
of all the drafts, I probably like this the most out of VGJ.Storm, but
I mean, they've got Storm and they're VGJ.Storm, of course.
I mean, the role play is on point.
Ready to go?
They're
Well-
smoked up on LGD's side
And
on VGJ's
yeah.
side.
I like this. You're down a game, a couple of games. Might as well try and make some moves.
Get a
Let's
quick kill.
get him. Oh, they're going to run into Somnus. He's onto them.
Oh, they're sneaking by though. Sneaky, sneaky.
they're
They
gonna find Razor.
him. Okay, Ame in some trouble. Maybe they can skill Glimpse if they want. They're going to do that
Is that
indeed.
even worth it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You give it to MSS. That's fine. He's going to have an early boots. Surprised that they smoked mid just for the ward and they didn't look to break it themselves. It looked like that was the idea. If Clock had just stood, a few units to the left of where he was, even if he was standing in those trees where he just was, he would have popped that smoke. They ping out the ward that was placed deep in their woods, though, so they're going to get that one for sure.
Yeah, they only have Glimpse on Disruptor now. I feel like that's going to...
Glimpse lifts, both supports, 0 damage. Clock, triple mango, 6 tango.
The battle begins.
Stout shield there as well, so he's not even going to really get hurt from those right clicks. Yeah, and it looks like they're going to switch things up a little bit. They're going to send Yawar towards mid lane, and Snaking just going to head up there with him as well.
Yeah, they're just trying to avoid the Omni-Razor matchup.
Yeah.
Razor running all the way bottom, and he's going to see that the Omni Knight is actually top.
Okay.
Will he see him on the ward is the question, because that makes his life, his decision a bit easier.
Yeah, might see the gyro.
He does not spot him, just
Nope.
outside of range.
Will they attempt to swap this up? They might be okay with these lanes. But looks like Lycan's running all the way from top to bottom.
Oh my
So
god.
it looks like that is not the case. They might leave Razor here a bit, but the Glimpse did. Oh, that's one way to utilize Glimpse. Break the link. But it's still 21 damage this early. It's just going to secure every deny for the Razor and last hit. Oh! Somehow he gets the last hit. Or deny.
Yawar.
Only the Sith dealing absolutes, PSG. Come on. Be a little more positive, all right? You
Yeah,
said you
no,
like the
man.
draft.
I
It's
like
not
the
over. The
draft.
game's not over yet, man.
I just said he had a
It's gonna
great
take at
way
least
of
20
using
minutes.
the Glimpse. Yeah. I said that was a great way to utilize the Glimpse.
It's tough, right? Because like you look at these drafts and you do feel like there's just so many problems with it, and it feels like every time you think that something could go good, it's always coming at a cost. And as the game goes on later and later, it's going to become more and more pronounced.
It's just like we pretty much called every hero that VGJ is going to pick, and if we can see it, I guarantee you that LGD can see it.
Yeah.
And it's just a little too predictable, I think. But as we mentioned, they certainly have a win condition this game in the Storm, and he is getting off to a decent start in the mid lane.
It's a rough matchup against Quap, though, especially a maybe Quap. You eventually just lose the base damage war, and you get out-harassed as well.
And once he gets it on his hill like this, it becomes very hard for Storm to walk up without eating a lot of dagger damage. Level 2 dagger gets it off.
Definitely. It's a good bit there, and maybe able to out CS him pretty effectively.
Yep.
It's going to remnant for those, so gets 3 of them with it, but still.
Almost has bottle. It's actually pretty big.
I like this play from the Clock. He knows the Storm has to buy regen. They're going to see the Courier top, and then he can actually just camp
Oh,
here.
the Invis Rune. God, that one really hurts.
Yeah, and Courier being top is actually just killing Rezo.
Yeah,
They're
that's
using it-
actually
like,
game
come
over.
on, snaking. Well, he did that for an Orb of Venom, guys. That's actually just critical. And FY, man, if FY had been there, that would have been a kill for sure.
Oh.
Holy crap.
That was so lucky,
We-
actually.
It's actually lucky that Snaking used his mid's Courier because otherwise Rez was just dying, but he's just getting hammered in mid now. You can't really afford to lose these waves like this. And luckily the tower aggro is into the tower, so he'll at least only lose that one creep, but still
Yeah,
feels
2
bad.
creeps, yeah.
Jeez.
Could be a lot worse, but I mean that's some stuff you ping your pub teammates for.
FY's moving in now as well in resolution. Just forced back again, so they do find a kill.
Hey, that
on
Orb of Venom.
Hey, yeah, I was about to
There
say,
you go.
Kyle was flaming it. I was backing it up saying, hey, you got to amp up that early aggression onto this Lycan with that extra slow in tandem with your aura from the Degen.
They're crushing Lycan top as well. He's actually going to just be forced to switch his lane. So this is going quite well for VGJ. Their lanes are going about as well as one could expect. Bottom is getting a little crushed, but they have a bunch
Rezo
of free
might be in
CS
trouble.
coming into tower.
Yep, FY just looking to dive this one as well, and they
Yeah,
are
3
getting the
bottle
right
fairy
clicks
fire.
in, is in trouble, and
Might get FY in return, though.
okay, maybe a chance. They do find that. But FY got the kill on a resolution
Late
before.
TP from MSS. Was that a long TP still, actually? That might have been the case.
No, it wasn't. He TP'd 50 seconds ago. He's actually has no TP on Storm for 20 seconds. He has to walk all the way there. 289 move speed does not yield
Chalice.
a happy Storm.
Bottom lane as well as X-Nova taking a lot of damage here onto one, and they get the glimpse back to secure
Okay.
themselves the kill.
This Lycan is not a hero in this game.
The thing is, if there were a hero that can feed on LGD's lineup, it is the Lycan. He is not really the tempo controller as much as he's just going to eventually get HOD Necro and start hitting towers. So
Yeah, eventually.
he can recover. It's the Quap and the Razor you got to watch, and maybe he's going to have a lot of pressure on him. Quap is not like a Storm or this Death Prophet he's been playing. Like it's a lot less forgiving to play Quap in a game like this. A couple of deaths and your game is no longer good enough to actually stay on top and carry.
That being said, he's about to be close to 2 levels ahead of the Storm Spirit.
Yeah.
And Storm's coming back to lane, level 4, feeling real bad after this creep wave. Like, he
Oh,
might be
yeah.
able to solo kill him, honestly.
He's gonna mango. This ultimate timing is gonna be huge.
He's going to get it from this creep dying right here at this range.
Is he gonna kill him with this?
He might. Oh, not
wait,
quite
he's
1x. Ooh, there it is. He gets it with the deny. And
He's got
Mango, Sonic Wave gets the kill. Oh, God.
This guy seems to know Quap pretty well.
Yep. And there was 5 seconds left on that high ground ward. Rezo's gonna know he had high ground vision, but it's
Top lane.
unsentryable.
They got Ame.
I might
And
actually go down here.
trying to get that kill. It's a big one.
Nice. They get the lane ward just placed as well. Look at that. Like it's so just crisp. Look at the double D ward from FY on both sides of the river. He knows his mid matchup is dominating, and getting the Storm's vision is far more important than securing any more for the Quap. And he actually wards defensively, or not off, like into the woods, because you know Storm's going to be forced out of lane soon.
He has to walk. That's the way he's going to go.
Yeah, it's
So
just
the only
super smart.
the only 2 places he can be is lane under his or 3 places: in lane, under his tower, or there. So by process of elimination, they'll be able to find him quite easily.
The other thing is getting that Quap ulti out so early, it means he's probably going to have another one before Storm gets 6. And there's a chance that they could just find that kill as they're bringing 3 heroes mid lane to try and deal with this.
And the Omni is forced to rotate back to top because the Razor TP'd there. This is a level 3 Lycan, though. And the thing about Lycan is, even though he can recover, he can be shut down
Yeah.
by just an Omni Knight.
This is also being real shut down. We've talked about this. Whenever a core gets so ahead, you can just zone your opposing matchup by yourself. It's pretty devastating. Arcane Rune on Storm, but here's an FY, level 3.
They got him caught there. The jump in can come in a second if they want to from maybe the lift, though, to keep him alive. MSS still not going to be able to get there in time. Somnus finds the kill.
Yep. Just perfect play, right? Like
He just knows what he's going to do.
FY is just doing, and he even has the sentry down that's going to catch the top ward. So we got the one bottom that was fresh, and if the Quap TP's in and sees this ward, like, they're just thinking they're a move ahead. It feels like from the draft to in the game. LGD
Yeah.
always a step ahead, and in this game, they lost both of their side lanes, but mid is such a huge disadvantage right now for VGJ that the game is still even.
And like I said, yeah, Resolution can't come back into the lane because
Bottom.
Quapulti is about to be back up. And, well, they are diving sort of here for MSS, but he is going to be able to sneak away for the moment.
The jukes.
Trying to get to the TP. He does almost have enough gold also for his arcanes, but not quite there.
Sell the salve.
Let's see if he does
They
it.
actually bought a TP instead.
All right. He also just about has enough. He's going to walk back in and pick up his arcanes. Okay.
Well played. Even if he dies now, you're okay with that. No dead gold. That's fine.
And he got the catapult killed.
Yeah, and he bought space. Exactly. They defend all tower damage. It's definitely worth. Up top, once again, Chalice just getting super dove. He's dead again.
Level 4 Lycan feeling real bad as Snaking finishes him off, and Somnus walks back in the lane, going to force Rezo out of here. He has his ultimate, and Resolution needs to be careful.
I don't mind what they did. They kept the gyro and the Omni up top. I like that a lot. You just secure, you shove Chalice just decisively into the dumpster and ensure you get the tower. You can't really pressure a Razor or Quap at this point. And look at Rezo once again. Look at the ward. You can see how much emphasis. They did not get the ward. The sentry faded with one hit on it, so you're going to see Quap buy his own sentry to probably take that out in a sec. But FY just securing vision in this mid lane and just camping it. And there's a lot of pressure now on Maybe to just play near flawlessly.
These wards are going
His
to be
team
here
needs
a
him.
while, too.
This has been by far the best start, though, for VGJ. And exactly what they need to do in order to win, honestly, even though the gyro's only level 5.
You just have this unkillable Omni in the dead lane top now. It's super nice. You can't go there with Lycan or Jakiro in truth, and Snaking can just free farm now.
Going to finish off this phase boot soon, going into Yule's Scepter next. And, well, Solution again, getting the bottle delivered back out to him, some clarities as well so he can farm out the jungle eventually. But still 2 levels behind Somnus. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. The issue is, like, Ame is just, you can't really lane against him with the gyro or the Omni. So he'll just come up here, and he's the guy that can actually bully Snaking out of this lane now.
Dire are
It might try to go on him when he pushes this creep wave in, but I think he's going to be onto this. He has a TP. He has a Phase Boots Windlace coming out to him. That's pretty significant for survivability against the Razor.
I like what he's doing, where you don't want to push this into tier 2 and
Yeah.
make it easier for your opponents. Just keep denying the wave back.
Bottom lane, you are. He's there as well with SVG. They're going to find the glimpse, pull him back in, and they can save the kill for, well, they give it to MSS, but still.
Still always take kills.
Dire's bottom tower.
That's what his team
Bounty
needs
runes are
him.
coming out, and then VGJ seems poised to get all 4, which could be a big deal.
And in spite of being pushed back over and over again and being 2 levels behind, Resolution is still topping the CS charts. A little bit behind in terms of net worth, but
Snaking has to TP out.
trouble.
He's
but
fine.
Good.
4 runes for VGJ.
You'll take that. And look at Storm. Like this is the thing about Quap versus Storm, right? Maybe crush that lane. He's only 700 gold ahead because, truthfully, kills just don't mean that much anymore. And Storm just eventually recovers. And this is, as you said, like this is fine for VGJ. You're gonna hit a timing in the mid game where, like Omni Gyro Storm, you can't beat them in a team fight.
Yeah.
And
There's going to be that window where they don't have BKBs yet.
yeah, and the hero that was going to be able to actually apply pressure to the map is Chalice, but he's going to have no HOD until like 12 minutes. Like
It's
he
actually
hasn't,
pretty
he's
hard to
done
kill
0
Rubik,
tower
too.
damage.
It's pretty hard to kill Rubik without this ult from the Lycan. Like, he can reliably defend or show up to any, like, aggressive plays that LGD's making and just counterplay it.
A lot of damage.
They're
spawned.
gonna
can
look to
kill
kill them. Yeah.
They almost have static. They have Static Storm now on SVG as well. The glimpse, they pull him back in time. Static Storm, it is still there, but they don't even need to use it. They pull him under tower, and the right click's not enough to take down SVG.
Mid lane, meanwhile, he's just putting a lot of pressure on this Lycan, who's only level 5.
Yep.
FY. He's there with Rezo as well. Push back with the cogs, burning through some mana. They can chase if they want, but looks
TP.
like maybe he's here. Waiting for it. That they're saving the hook as well, and fakes the Stonic wave so that way they can find the kill after the fact. Somnus just gonna punch him and save it. All right, he is out of control right now in this game, and
Still have a hook. He's gonna
looking
leap
for
back
more.
forwards.
SVG just jumps in, more right clicks.
Gyro TP. He has no blink on the Queen of Pain.
Oh, maybe in trouble. Still wand charges though. They have the missile on him as well. They're
He's dead.
gonna drop him, and they managed to find the kill
Yep.
on him. Maybe.
You'll take that. You take that 100%.
Maybe he's like, I mean, if you look at the net worths, maybe he's the only one that really, like, he is the top of the net worth. Obviously, Razor's having a pretty good game as well, but yeah, 100% you are happy with that.
And the thing, once you remove the Death Prophet from this type of lineup of LGD, they don't have that ability to just naturally control the early mid game and also pressure objectives. Like, you're playing Razor Quap. When LGD finds success, a lot of the time they have both heroes just significantly stronger as far as scaling and less reliant on kills and snowballing to take tempo control of a game. And they don't really win team fights, and the meta does not favor these heroes that have to just sort of play assassin like around the map. And I feel like Storm Omni are just going to farm, and eventually VGJ is going to reach a point where you cannot take them on in a clash and win.
It's so crazy. Like, you sort of get lulled into this false sense of security when you're this Queen of Pain that just keeps on finding kills. You destroy that Storm Spirit, but as we've been repeating, it's the catch-up game and the long-term plays that are working out into VGJ.Storm's favor.
They do actually have reach for him this game with the Rubik plus Disruptor, so it's not like he... And even the Storm Spirit to follow it up. I mean, FY, look at this vision in the mid lane. He sees all of this, all these heroes. He sees all three, Rubik, Gyro, and Disruptor.
He pings where the ward is, too.
Yep. And the big issue is that, like, you can see Chalice is about to hit level 7, but imagine if he had this HOD and levels by, like, 8 minutes, right? He would have been killing this bot tower. Instead, you have a Jakiro Razor doing it.
They're walking into this, though. And you are almost dead, actually. They still have the Clockwork Hook if they want to turn this in. He's caught there for the moment, and they take him down.
MSS. Dude, MSS the X Factor right now.
God, he missed the hook.
Not in the right place. And
That's not where you want to be.
can they just take him down here?
Might be able to turn this. Somnus is waiting.
Glimpse
He doesn't
in a
have
sec.
ult yet, though.
They have vision for a glimpse in a moment.
Scary stuff. Sonic Wave still on cooldown for 10
Oh,
seconds.
you glimpse
He's
the
gonna
cop now.
blink.
They have a ward.
Pull him back in. He's also
It's
caught by
only
a
level 3
Thunderstrike.
glimpse.
But they're going to take down FY, it looks
Got
like.
it. He got the angle.
glimpse. He has
No,
ult
he has no
for-
ult.
Oh, God. Somnus going to be caught there. And
Rubik
can they
lift?
bring him
They have
down in
lift?
time? They lift him back into the Stackstorm, into the missile. They take him down.
Okay.
He ran like slightly up angle. Like he was just that 100 units away that whole
Is
time.
Army in trouble here? Yawar has no mana. Never mind. He can't chase.
Well, VGJ.
And regen rune top for Storm. The stars are aligning.
Mm-hmm.
3-2 and A. Wait, okay, let's have them win this one first.
Let's hold up
before
for a
we-
second.
Sorry. You know.
Take it easy there.
So they are shrining top, and Snake King has Yule's almost done. We've been seeing him run at the Lycan all game, and Lycan's response has been to TP out. So
Oh, they got a
suddenly
ward
that's
on
not
him.
going to be an option. And he's just dead.
He has no ulti either. So yeah, as you said, no boots, no ulti. You take that.
Oh, the regen rune
lose
coming into
courier, though.
effect also. Somnus is here.
Is he dead?
Does Somnus want to be here?
I don't know if he does. They just follow forward with this one. The shrine is still working. They break the regen, though.
Oh no, but look at the creeps. Oh, it's a stun from Chalice from the grave. We'll find MSS.
That was a pretty big streak for him, too.
Okay.
And also
Bounty runes.
Yawar a bit uncomfortable there. He TP'd mid, ran towards top, and now forced to run all the way bottom. He could have been bottom, killing that tier 2 and taking those bounty runes, but he actually wasted 30 seconds of time there. Something you would not see LGD make the mistake of is they're almost always playing those 3 lanes.
And again, they're setting up here with Resolution. He feels a lot more comfortable farming on this side of the map.
It's going Maelstrom on Gyro. I don't know if this is the game to go Maelstrom.
It is.
Why?
Okay.
You're playing as like
They have the stun there,
in,
the
like, right now.
follow-up stun, and Resolution gonna make the escape just barely.
Omni Knight has the TP as well.
that's
Nice.
fine. You take this.
SVG
Space.
might be dead.
You don't care about that. Look at where the creep wave is for now.
That man has a family. And okay, he's dead.
Died for our sins.
I just wish Yawar was on that bottom tower already, because then the Rubik that respawn, TP's mid, he would be immediately connecting. That's another kill on the Lycan. But because the wave is where it is, he's just gonna end up getting it pushed into the tower, and then Lycan's gonna take it over.
So you're trying to tell the people at home that the faster you play, the easier it is to make plays comparatively. So when you're the
Exactly.
team that just doesn't make as quite a good decisions, there's just not many opportunities.
Glad you broke that down for us.
You're welcome.
They're actually gonna give bot to Quap, keep him snowballing. Curious to see what item he chooses to go. It's gonna be Orchid. I don't mind it, but I stand by. I think that the optimal Quap build maybe calls for that item a bit later, especially in this game where I think a Lincoln's just keeps you alive.
And it could have saved him from this initiation that's coming in right now with the Static Storm there, and they're going to have the missile as well. Looks like they actually don't want to take this fight since Ame has shown up, and Chalice is going to ulti pop
Shrine's
as
active.
well.
Shrine's active.
Scary stuff here, but with just the Wolves, they're
They're running
chasing
away
an
from it.
MSS. The turnaround. Not get a chance to use that one. Great
Got that
play.
spike dagger off
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Sending a message when he comes out of that haste rune.
Omni Knight had no TP at the time.
And they're fine with that, though. That's just a support. That's like an ulti used. Snake King's pushing in top, has the Yule Scepter. I like he's going for a 4-staff.
I like the LGD vision once again, where they switch it up. They have 2 wards now in the entrances to top lane because they're just going to sit the Quap or the Lycan bottom. They don't need vision. They're just going to shove this lane and don't let the Storm and VGJ.Storm farm your woods. But at the same time, pretty behind, and Chalice still desperately trying to recover.
Is under attack.
FY is hunting again, as you said, see if they can catch out Snake King, but I believe that was pinged by the Radiant Observer Ward that's in this area as well.
Yep. I would say Storm should buy a BKB earlier, but when you're playing with Omni, if he gets this Orchid up, he gets repelled, he goes in. What's your counterplay as LGD?
I don't really have one, particularly for the Quap. Considering she's going to be going for the Orchid. I guess she is getting rather tanky with the 10 strength talent as top side resolution.
Wait, fight over the rune. Gets a
bottle
regen
regen.
again.
It's the dream.
Spawn regen.
He has the easy ancient camp below him as well, so he has a lot of room to farm now. But he'll take lanes because he's a good player. If when in doubt, kill the creep wave before you go to the jungle.
They serve as information, protecting yourself, making it safer.
I like this smoke too. You're gonna probably nuke out mid real quick.
Jakiro might break it though.
I don't like it if they go for the clock.
This means a tower most likely, doesn't it?
And if they come into this, also you can get a long jump from Storm Spirit if the fight breaks out.
That's true. You always have Disruptor for the +1 as well if you find vision, but they don't have much vision for the area. But I like the snaking. Just dive in, find him. You know Jakiro's in the area. You get the glimpse. That's another kill. That's reach,
Nice.
baby.
They get it. Reaching for X Nova, and they find the finish there. Lycan is still farming in the woods. He just pops his ulti right now, wanting to get into this one, and they catch SVG, but now they've got eyes on Chalice, starting to bring him down, and they're going to be able to get this kill here.
Wow.
They heal for the HOD creep as well. And this is just LGD. They can play this game where they split push around the map, Alme farming a side lane, etc. But it's just not the same when he's Razor.
They might be able to burst this Omni.
Oh, looking for it. Also, they're stealing damage right now from UR as they try and chase him down. Sonic Wave down, a ton of damage, but they are going to be able to find the kill onto that Ame. And now they've also got themselves another. Can they finish off? Maybe they do. Resolution starting to go off.
That Ice Path on Rubik is super value. It has no cast animation. Pretty good spell when you don't have to worry about that delay. Gets the glimpse onto X Nova. He gets Ice Path, and they're just going to let it go. But this Storm Spirit almost has Orchid.
Yep, top net worth now. Like, this is the game you want. And this is why, as you said, it wasn't, maybe it's not the ideal draft. You don't look at it and think, oh, VGJ's got this. But you know that they have the tools to win. That is what you always have in a game as Storm versus 3 cores that never really have the ability to kill you.
FY, again, they take away the bounty rune as well. Take everything from that man.
And this also, Rubik against Jakiro. Forgot to mention that one, but part of the reason when I was drafting, we stopped picking it in the opener was because people were just responding immediately with Rubik. And if you ever get this Ice Path, like, you're just...
Especially with Storm Spirit, a hero that's so far, like, going to catch people out, you can follow him up immediately.
Yep. You said so much. Glimpse follow-up, Storm gets repelled, goes in. Like, you have this unbreakable chain CC that's going to lead to a guaranteed kill almost every time. And I don't know.
You are going to Ags after the Maelstrom. You think that's a little greedy, or you like it?
I don't mind it. You don't need. You're playing for the late game, right? If he rushes BKB, they're going to bait. He's going to bait his own teammates into taking fights that they do not want. Ame finishes his BKB.
Are you implying that what the carry's actions are in the game will dictate almost every other hero on their team?
In a way.
Yeah, because I think that's something a lot of people don't think about is whatever your game plan is as a carry or even just any core hero, if you pick, like if this Storm Spirit goes Orchid, he is telling the rest of his team he does not want to take head-on engagements. He's looking for pickoffs along with the Disruptor, and that just fits with the lineup they have. So like in other games you'll see these teams, they'll go 3 BKBs at once. You want your game plan to line up. He's actually going BKB on Gyro, which I think is fine as well because by that point...
Look up top, though.
Rezo might be in trouble, but how do they kill him other than the net creep?
They've got wolves here.
Well, there it is.
They got net creeps. They've got FY. They've got resolution, possibly caught, possibly killed. He jukes and jives, gets himself away. Oh! He does manage to get out.
Pop ulti was on 2-second cooldown.
God, that's huge. Because they had vision the whole time with the wolves, and he manages to escape from that one while everybody else is moving on SVG. VGJ, and now SVG and Toe are going to go for a smoke gank and see if they can kill him up here.
Great play. Love this play. Because they were still showing the Gyro bottom. He's going to TP. They're going to smoke him with the rest. Do they find
They're
Quap
gonna
here?
him.
Oh, look
Please.
at
Oh, Yules him! Use your spell!
right there.
Oh, you gotta be spamming on quick cast, man.
Rezo gets the double Necro and HOD creep. That's the 4th time I've seen an HOD creep die. And down
Bottom
bottom,
lane.
yo, War, what were you doing down
BKB
there?
forced.
BKB forced. Well, they do lose UR, so what was looking like a nice string of events there, LGD going to pull something back for themselves now as well and get some good vision into the jungle.
Yep. He's going to go back for BKB as well,
DD top.
which is fine. I think Ags and BKB are both good. Once you have that death, though, now it's like, okay, I need this BKB, so when we have this eventual Roche fight in the next 3-4 minutes, I need to have that item. And his Storm is at a point where you just need to kind of run in and do stuff, because your Storm will be the inevitable carry.
He's going Yules on Storm. What do you think about that?
I think it's all right.
Lets him split push without having to worry about being around Omni, but doesn't really change the way he plays fights.
It's... I don't mind it because it's like helps you accelerate, and it's cheaper than a BKB. And he still dies to Orchid once his BKB is forced.
Oh, God. And he just spots out the Jakiro's there. Going to try and go for a solo kill with the DD. Easy as pie.
Yep. And it's also, you don't really... BKB just isn't the greatest item in this game. Because what do you fear, right? Orchid, Jakiro. You can just juke an Ice Path, or you're targeting a Jakiro every fight, so all you really fear is the Orchid. And if you can Yules that off yourself, Quap has no threat on
You
you.
also can't really stand your ground either with the BKB. Like, you actually do fear the damage to the
Oh,
point where
what
you're
a jump.
He is going
He still has
crazy.
DD.
Resolution
Oh my.
does not give a damn.
Goodness gracious.
And they summon the Necros just to end up getting cleaned up by Rezo.
free gold.
Yep.
That's going to lead to a tier 1 tower. They look like they're probably going to get a trade top lane, but they're actually just going to immediately TP the Omni here.
Okay, Somnus.
He has Yules, he's fine.
Yep.
Realize you can't kill him.
And that's the issue with Quap, right? Where like all of a sudden, look how far behind he is on the Storm, and part of that I think is the Orchid build, and just part of it is just the hero itself. He has 3 deaths. You don't often see a Quap win a game that's less than 40-50 minutes
Oh,
with
mid lane.
more than 2 deaths.
They go in again, and this is where things get really scary. Another Orchid, but a godlike resolution.
Oh, Snaking just gets that extra 100 gold to boot. Okay. In a Dota.
Yeah. Crazy to think that Rezo got cut from a team.
I mean, he just had to go to the superior region. That's all
Who
it
would
came
who would let a guy like this go?
It's a question.
thinking. Top lane, Ame is pretty farmed, but he is not the like. If you look at the late game scaling between Razor and Storm, that is heavily in favor of the Storm Spirits.
I mean, Storm's just such a massive threat on the map now.
Yeah, and Razor's not.
Yeah. Like, Ame has been really quiet this game, and usually that'd be a cause for concern. It's like, oh, what's he been doing? He's probably huge, but you don't really fear a Razor.
Yep.
Especially when the game gets this late and your Storm's so ahead. There's nothing a Razor can ever do to threaten Storm as the game progresses.
I like that VGJ backs off the minute that Quap is respawning. They know that that's when LG is going to fight if they are, and they have no reason to need to force it into their faces like this when they have the Storm build that he has. He's going no BKB, just Shivas, and I love this.
Well, and normally this would be the time when you'd want to try and secure themselves an Aegis, but honestly, they don't even necessarily need to do that. They can play the pick-off game, push out the waves to the sides, and
You can't
if they
put
get it
yourself in
eventually.
that spot.
And look at VGJ. They do the same thing we saw LGD do so well in the previous games, where they push this bottom wave all the way to the tower, force the responses. They know LGD's in the base. Then they TP 4 top as Storm shoves out middle, and now they can look to connect in this entire dire woods.
And meanwhile, they're not getting pressured bottom at the same time, so it allows them to stay there much longer, looking for more opportunities, possibly forcing the objective if they see the opportunity. The main thing for me is that you don't need to force a fight around Roche because of the fact that that's giving LGD a 5-on-5 fight, and when you have the Storm Spirit, who's the threat on the map, no fights happening favors you.
Yep. And as you said, you can really only lose the game at Roche in this sort of situation. He's just walking a Chalice trying to force the ultimate. There
Oh,
he
Todd
goes.
just the Ice Path too, and they get the Sack Storm. Not quite there in time. The hook shot. What the hell was that? Manages to get away from it, though, and they have the Repel as well. Gets a regen rune top as it spawns. Trying to run away, SVG is going to die. And you are also going
They're
to go
dead.
down.
What is... No.
That's a big courier. They
VGJ.
do the GA.
They have Storm Spirit regen.
A ton of
Oh, he got
damage coming
Orchid.
in, and he tries to make it happen, but he's caught up. You'll Scepter try and get himself out of there. He is going to get Force Staff away, almost out, and, well, still under fire, but Resolution trying to run, trying to get out of there. He does manage to escape for the moment, but this has been a lot of kills early on, and well, VGJ going to lose yet another as Omni goes
Man.
down.
I just don't
War's doing
understand that
stuff.
play. No, but just kill the Lycan if you're going to go for him. But like, if they just glimpse into Disruptor ult, even if he pops his Necro and everything, it will die to a repelled Storm. But they just hesitate. and then all of a sudden Storm has to zip away defensively, and LGD take a decisive team fight and go walk right into Roshan.
This is a scary thing, too. You've got Ags, Razor now. They're going to finish off Roche and maybe can try to secure themselves some more towers if they want to.
Oh my goodness.
They're smoked up. They want to go again. No like an ulti, but who cares, I guess.
They get eyes on SVG right at the start, and he's just going to get right-click, Plasma Field down. A killing spree for Ame, and how quickly the wheels fall off.
Bias caster.
I'm just rooting for 5 games.
Yeah, me
More
too.
Dota, guys. It's better for the community.
I agree.
We were
because
just
they're
saying
in
how a slow game favors them too, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, like it's like they hesitate, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. We want the pick-off game. Why are you saving your ultimates for a team fight when you don't want a team fight? Just kill the guy. They might catch Heroes top with the Storm. They know
And
that.
the other thing is, if you kill Lycan, you remove the Roche threat,
Right.
which is another reason I love when you can pick him off at the start of the fight, because that's also the only guy that's really capable of killing your Rubik with Blink Force and a spell steal.
Go top.
Oh, they're baiting it out.
Oh.
FY is there, and they spot him out. There's going to be the Cogs pushback, and he's actually going to be the one that gets caught and killed. And no way out of this one, I don't believe. Yule Scepter,
What?
lift up.
So many heals.
Okay, he's dead.
It's all okay. Rezo, if Rezo dies to
This game's
someone
over.
that isn't Quap or Razor, it's not a huge deal. It is a huge deal, but not as bad.
I think him dying, not only is it the death itself, but he's the entire map bet for VGJ. He's the reason why LGD can't farm the way they want to. So if he dies, that's like 80 seconds or whatever it is of free farm for the entirety of LGD. And that free farm will lead to map control, and then suddenly he's going to respawn on this side of the map with all 3 lanes pushed into his towers, and then he's not a Storm anymore.
Yeah, it changes the way that the game gets played for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
It takes a long time to like tilt that. Like map control is like a scale that each side's like pushing down on it, trying to tilt it in their favor. And if you have to spend, like you said, 5-10 minutes like working your way back towards your advantage. And Rezo, like they are smoked up on VG or on LGD. You should be careful.
The Wolves are on him. They scan. They know. They got him caught. There's the Yule Scepter lift up, but immediately into the ice path afterwards, and he is just gone. MSS hook shot in. They catch him as well, able to block the TP as well. FY interrupting everything, and MSS is going to die, and likely they'll be able to chase down Snake King as well. They've got the Necro books there as well. All the damage in the world. 4 dead.
And just like that, VGJ crumble. I just said the one you can't die to Quap or Razor. He dies to the worst hero, Quap.
You
Just-
are?
Oh, you
Wait,
are.
what?
Yawar is
He has
caught
no
out.
TP.
X-Nova making the plays that his team needs, and FY is there as well to get the Cogs pushback into Ame's waiting
Got him.
hands. BKB popped.
He's out.
Trying to run, trying to get out of there.
He might actually. Is he
He's
dead?
dead,
No,
guys.
he's dead.
He's dead, guys.
Yawar is
Cleanup
going to be
pain here for
found
the
as
cleanup
well.
crew.
An SVG, they smell
SVG
blood. They find
again!
themselves another. They just keep on
jukes.
falling apart here. He's juking around, and, well, guess what? Maybe he doesn't give a damn.
Oh my goodness.
Still with the Aegis.
How are you? That's the no BKB factor. Where yeah, you can Yules, he would be fine, but the Jakiro has to be taken out. The moment you're initiated on and forced to defensively Yules before you've even
You're just
broken into a
alley-ooping
fight, yeah, you're just giving a Jakiro a free ice pad. That's the one thing that can't happen, and that's why I like the Yules, because if you're initiating a fight like they could have in that mid engagement, you're never gonna allow that to happen because you can target him yourself. But you can't farm on the low ground.
Oh.
At
This could be a
nighttime.
big one, but there's a BKB on the Queen of Pain, and jump away. Rezo got that DD. He hit his mark.
Now he's got to go back for BKB. Man, they're in such a good position. VGJ. All of a sudden, you've got Aegis on the Quap still. He's gonna finish an AC in like 2 or 3 minutes, and then he's gonna just right-click super hard, and then he can threaten the Storm because he has a BKB and a massive right-click. You know, going for the attack speed talent. Eventually, that level 25, you're gonna go Fear.
They're smoked up behind the dangling Rezo.
They're
With
ready.
a DD.
Ready to tangle.
Great vision placed again by FY on the high ground.
He's a nullifier queued up. He
Oh,
could get
gosh.
towards that.
You know, he's about 4,600 gold off.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Well, they're going.
Jump forward. Found one. Yule Scepter lift up. The turnaround is there, but they managed to find that repel, and
No,
initial
don't
jump,
like
they're
it.
able to get out of there. Chasing forward for more. Ame is down low. They get the
Oh,
Guardian
Aegis.
Angel as well.
This DD's doing enough damage to... Oh, he got it purged. Never mind.
All right, there's the jump around, and X-Nova's there as well. If Ame goes down, it could be big, but with that Reaver, he's so freaking tanky, and Fly able to catch onto one. They're still jumping forward. There's the jump in from Ame. He catches onto 3. Can they kill him off? The Sonic Wave stolen. Maybe a chance to kill off his own. MSS making those plays for his team, but he's still going to die. Triple kill for Maybe, and Eyes off to the side here onto Snaking. One more, and the Ultra.
No preemptive repel there.
Radiant's top
He
tower
went in,
is
got
under attack.
Yules'd up, so his DD got purged. And then
They're just playing. It feels like that mid-fight may have broken the lines, the resolve of VGJ.Storm. It's hard enough to play a BO5 down 2 games, but you lose that game-changing team fight into Roshan, and all of a sudden, that lead you had, that one mistake advantage disappears. Suddenly, you make another mistake, and you're behind.
No.
Chalice is catching Snaking in net worth. He's got a BKB finish to go with that Necro 3. Doesn't matter how bad his game was at the start. He's going to do just as much damage to buildings now as he would have with this. Oh, man.
Well, and the other problem, too, is you've got this Ame here with about to be Eye of the Storm. He's got the level 20 talent, and then on top of that, the Aghanim Scepter with a heart.
And now you just don't have the damage to kill a Razor anymore. All he has to do is run at the gyro, and it's the element of the draft we outlined at the first part of it, where if you run at the gyro and get a full link off, there really isn't any damage output from VGJ.Storm. Yeah, maybe you'll take out Jakiro, but clock 2300 HP, Blade Mail, Yules, Quap 2000 in a BKB.
She's
Razor with
finished
the
in
hearts.
AC.
Yeah.
a full AC. Oh my god.
Well, the Wolves are scouting for vision. If anybody steps outside of this base, they're going to take a lot of damage very quickly.
Is under attack.
Howl. Now Ame hitting the tower. Jump in. Doesn't hit on to... Well, he finds himself the Queen of Pain. BKB is still there, though. Pops it immediately. The Orchid to turn around. And, well, Storm Sphere gets the repel, saving his life for the moment. They're static linking away on the Omni. Resolution manages to get out of there before he drops. But now the Tier 3 tower being assaulted. LGD, a second major in their sights. So they're taking it down the barracks.
They might be able to backdoor this.
200 damage on Razor for a second.
They're doing far too much for them to deal with, and another jump in. They found themselves Chalice. Static Storm down as well. BKBs are available for the Razor, and he pops it now. They try and turn this one. The Sonic Wave, every damn thing
Buyback.
thrown onto Rezo. He does have that buyback, and they're going to need it. A godlike Somnus as they jump in for a second round. Resolution not able to find that opening, though. He does take him down. 800 gold going into the pockets of them there, but still another stun. FY in some trouble as well. SVG starting to fall down low. He is going to die.
Razor got lifted.
No
They need
follow-up.
the Razor too. There's the Ice Path.
Okay, trying to take him down.
They have
BKB.
Yules as well on the Storm.
No drums, and he is going to get ran down here. No buybacks. He is still
Nice,
getting
that's
Ice
good.
Path caught. A lot of HP, but not enough. So they
Get
managed
the
to take
Storm!
down all
Stop
5.
that, Snaking! That's so much gold! You already have an Ags. Like, is the Lotus Orb really going to change the game? Storm needs a BKB.
Well, no Roche to take
you-
for another 2 minutes.
You take that. That is 100% worth. Yeah, it cost you your Storm buyback, but look at the net worth disadvantage. Like, it's just...
Yeah.
They save the racks. Now they're on at a
4
position.
bounty runes?
Yeah, they're at a point now where if they win this next fight, that'll give them the second Aegis. 1 minute, 30 seconds. The game-deciding battle is going to be around this Roshan, and it gives SVG time to place a couple wards, set up for Roche, heal up, and you also keep your shrines alive for this interim period because LGD can't just freely get to your side of the map because obviously they're all dead.
They do have Wolves following around
Damn.
SVG, so I believe they might have spotted where these wards are being
Storm.
placed.
Yep.
He has BKB, but he's not gonna have time to get his ultimate off.
Oh my god, they find it.
Okay, no buyback, 50 seconds. How long on Roche do we say?
He's still got
Still
a
time.
minute.
Okay.
But they can pressure a little bit here if they
Yeah.
want to.
They have no push.
Yeah, the Ice Path is a huge steal as well. That's going to change the game if he can continue to land big ones. It's the only reason that heroes were dying in their base, that previous engagement.
So Tier 2 going to be taken down now again.
That's an even game all of a sudden, that quick. That's the power of buybacks with no penalty, especially for heroes like Storm. Level 25 now as well with that auto remnant when he balls. And Rezo's really going to need to ball out for them to win this game. He cannot make a mistake.
I was gonna make that same joke. Oh,
It's a good one.
I was gonna let him finish what he said.
Guys, it's not a joke. It's alliteration. All right.
Oh, okay, my
Focus on
bad.
the task at hand.
Yeah,
31,
back to the game.
31, 37
Okay,
minutes in
so-
the game.
so-
BSJ major finals.
Kyle, you're
What's up?
Jack. You're in the booth, which you're not allowed to be. But if you were in the booth, what would you be saying to your team right now?
Don't lose.
Okay.
Win. Nah,
That's
it's more-
that's probably
look,
about
don't
the
make
input Jack
mistakes.
would get.
Look at the
That's
vision.
the
Look,
input
look.
Jack would
You
get there.
get this is camp a good rune. Do you get one? Yeah, they do. It's an arcane rune on Storm. Now you have double vision in both enemy jungles. Make a play. Repel your Storm. Let him loose.
Everybody sees that Roche is
Omni
up right
showing
now.
top.
Ame's alone in this one.
Scanning.
Oh, but they don't feel comfortable going for it yet. They do have vision over all of this area.
If they connect mid, though, they have the vision advantage.
Again, everybody knows that Roche is up. Jump forward.
Look at Yules.
Thinking about taking it down. FY able to find the stun, though. The Ice Path, pushes him off to the side. He's stunned. He's caught. Is he going to be killed? The Yule Scepter lift up. He can try and get out of this one. Resolution trying to man up. They managed to get off the ulti from the Omni. And Yawar doing a good bit of damage here as well, but it's all being drained away by Ame. Sonic Wave comes out as well. They need to bail. Yawar is falling so quickly. They can't get him out. Snaking also going to be isolated. Going to be killed. They have buyback on 2, but no Disruptor.
How do you get initiated on? You have 4 wards. LGD has none. How is that happening? Clock forcing a Yules and a Disruptor ult on top of the Storm. He's forced to use the Repel and the GA. Storm isn't even fighting with those buffs on him for 5 seconds. He uses half his mana pool just zipping away defensively.
All right, double buybacks. They know what they need to do.
No BKBs. You got to take a fight.
20 seconds on the Lycan
Wait,
one.
Storm Spirit's
There
there.
we go.
He finds one. It's the Jakiro opening. Already dropping low. They have some remnants they can throw down as well as the Purification. X-Nova going to be caught, going to be killed. Now they look for more. Somnus. He's caught up there with the Yule Scepter. They're going to buy back on the Jakiro as well. Chasing forward here. Ame up on the high ground. He's starting to link away from the Gyrocopter. They get the Yule Scepter, which creates that separation. Not a full link. Rezo's out of mana, though. Needs to separate and get back into this fight a second time.
They have no shrine.
Oh, Somnus jumps forward. Silence there as well. A second round, they're stealing the damage from the Lycan onto MSS, actually. The hook shot in, able to catch onto one. Can they kill him off? Lotus Orb is there. 4 staff away. Static Storm wasted. Now maybe as well. He's jumping in, trying to take down Resolution.
No damage.
Still standing their ground, and they're able to back up towards their own base, at least for now.
They can get
SVG
mana on this Storm.
in no man's land and backing out. Maybe still chasing. They want this kill, but I don't know if they can jump in and try and fully commit for it.
It's worth the buyback. Still a close game. You gotta kite the BKBs. You cannot kill any of LGD's heroes with the BKBs up. Kite the Razor Link, and you can ignore him. Yeah, he'll be doing damage. That ult is very annoying, but you can't kill him. Do not target him.
Here?
I mean, there's no BKB on the Queen of Pain for another 30 seconds.
They're actually going. They're smoked up. They want to
They're
force the fight.
yeah, LG's gonna run right through their wards as well. Be patient.
Good vision. The smoke up as well. They're walking through. Ame, the one leading the charge.
Kept the high ground.
Arcane Rune on Ame.
They ran away from the high ground.
Oh, they're down the
It's
high
a
ground.
Chalice.
Smoke
He has
broke.
BKB.
Got there. Obviously no Static Storm. They jump forward on the back line. They want to take down one. Can they kill off the Queen of Pain in the duration of this? The hook shot in. They're able to separate them out, and now you are trying to do whatever damage they possibly can. They can't quite get him.
Oh my
no!
God,
Storm
no!
Spirit taken out for 2 minutes, and now Yuar's got to run. They've got to hold somehow at all. But with the Storm Spirit dead, a good jump away, but the chase as well. MSS just trying to hide. It looks like they might be able to escape, but no Storm for 2 minutes. Chalice? They can't find that kill.
Why?
The lift, the 4 staff, he needs to get the TP into his...
Uard never has TPs.
No, he's dead as well. MSS is gone.
What is it?
Yuar is dead, and MSS likely to follow up with that one as well. Yuar chased, right-click from the lowdown, they get the kill.
Man, they had first mover advantage. They had the high ground. Like,
Anakin.
everyone,
Like
yes,
Anakin.
they had the high ground.
It was Obi.
And then he like jumped into the lava. They cast the field on the ground, and all of a sudden LGD, the surprise is lost. Hey, our smoke broke. Where can they? Oh, Disruptor's up there. Storm jumps through the free Lycan to the Quap, doesn't orchid him, so the BKB isn't even forced on the blink away, and then all of a sudden he's caught in no man's land. Yules, Ice Path, still no BKB on Rezo, and he dies in the duration.
No buybacks on these heroes. LGD, they smell blood. They found it as well as MSS is going to drop. And with the building's force, GG is going to be called. We have LGD as your major winner for the second time.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Just the machine.
the
It's
machine.
disappointing from our perspective. We would have liked to see more Dota, but I don't want to take anything away from LGD. I got kind of sick of repeating that these guys were by far the best in the tournament, and I thought they were going to win every game. This one looked very promising for VGJ, but LGD didn't really make mistakes. VGJ made a couple, and that's the difference here.
What a team, honestly. I mean, you look at where they were leading up to January. They make that signing, picking up Xnova and bringing him into the fold. And ever since then, they have looked like one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant team in all of China. And, well, really, really impressive stuff from LGD.
Not much else to add. I think if you're VGJ, that was felt like the one game you had a shot in. They know they could have won it, and I don't think that there's a lot to learn from this series.
Absolutely.
But they're, for the moment, still outclassed by a definitive Tier 1 team in LGD. And they'll get there. Still fresh, still new, but I think LGD earned this axe.
I think that VGJ.Storm's playstyle is just a little too limited right now, and that's usually what happens when you're a newer team. You don't have enough time to work on all these strategies. So I think if they're given the time before TI or even just the qualifiers, maybe they can really put together a few more strategies, be more versatile of a team. But yeah, I mean, LGD, no better looking player to hold up that axe or Battle Fury than FY himself.
And he deserves it, man. If there's one player on that team that I feel like is deserving of a major championship, it's definitely FY.
Just not really much to add from my perspective. I think it seems like Dota nowadays is all about just playing clean, making sure to itemize and position yourselves for even just like simple things like we saw Paparazzi, farming to the top right, ensuring that smoke gank doesn't catch him. Little plays like this. FY with the Naga illusion bait in the previous series. Just so many clutch plays from every player of LGD. And there's a lot of discussion about Ame, about FY, but I think Chalice, Xnova, it's hard to really pick a favorite.
Yeah.
Much like Liquid, much like VP, you look at every player on the roster and you don't find a weakness.
Totally. Well, they are not going to be at ESO1 Birmingham, but they will be at the China Super Major, which will probably be the next looks that we get at LGD, and certainly going to be a team to be reckoned with at that event. As I do believe that we're going to probably have an interview here in just a second. Hopefully he'll be translated.
You don't understand this?
No.
So our teammates invites me to get the champion.
那么我们想问一下，就是在这个比赛当中，小组赛期间，其实 LGD 打的可能会略显低迷。进入到败者组之后，你们是怎么样调整自己的状态，一路重新杀回到我们的总决赛？
So during group stage, you seem to not perform well, but during the loser and winner bracket, you really perform well and get the champion. So how do you make that?
This doesn't demonstrate a bit of the Chinese mentality. LGD just won a major, and the first guy to get interviewed is the coach.
I think that he's going to say something along the lines of, we went to the hospital.
That's also 3 straight majors won by a team that had their coach draft.
We get the major champion.
Of course, LGD was 2 of them.
So during the group stage, we still use the last patches like a meta. So after the group stage, we try to change our strategy. Then we get a champion right now.
好，那么作为教练，我们可以看到第3局比赛，其实老干爹战队在这个中期打的一度非常的吃力。作为教练的角度来讲，你觉得在这个第3局当中，可能哪个选手发挥的最为亮眼？你想表扬哪个选手
So third game, you play a really tough game, but still win this. Who you want to praise really?
第3局其实我们的狼人选的比较早，然后被针对了，然后前面就是换路没换好嘛，让狼人前面发育受损，然后我们前面阵容就显得有点难打。但是你说 MVP 的话，我觉得基本上是全队都有，基本上是阵容加对线出来是比较难打的，但是全队打的都很好，我觉得是他们全部的荣耀。
So because we picked Lycan very first, this hero is countered so hard by the other team. Like our laning and team fight should be very tough. But our whole team is really playing well, so we can get this game.
好了，那让我们现场再次响起最热烈的掌声，送给今晚的英雄 LGD 战队，恭喜他们！
Guess they're gonna leave it at that.
To rephrase, they
好，
only
那么
interview
在
the
这里的
coach.
话呢，我们本次的 MDL 也有一个 MVP 的评比环节。我们从这个小组赛开始会统计每一场比赛的 MVP， 获得 MVP 次数最多的选手将会获得我们本届 MDL 电竞精英战的 MVP 奖。下面就让我来揭晓我们的获奖者。那相信其实刚刚在分析台上应该大家已经知道了。本次我们的 MVP 最终的获奖者是 Maybe， 恭喜你。
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Kind of nice to see it being given to a core.
It hasn't happened for a while.
Yeah, I feel like they've been favoring supports, not to take anything away from FY. I just think maybe also played incredibly well.
I think maybe was definitely the standout performer. Like his Death Prophet had to be banned. If it wasn't, he was winning the games himself.
Yeah.
It felt like. His quap in the last game, pretty much perfect. The Ember Spirit, like
Oh yeah,
like
unreal.
you can't give it to anybody else in this series.
So thank you, our fans. Changsha is quite hot. The weather isn't good. Thank you for everyone's support. And
好，请我们的李怡小姐将 MVP 的这一个奖杯拿到我们的舞台上来。这是一个斧王啊，手握狂战斧。好，再次恭喜 Maybe， 恭喜你，非常精彩的一场比赛，同时也是再次祝贺老干爹俱乐部和我们老干爹其余的队员们。对你们来说，这也是一场非常难得、非常
I think it was actually an
胜
axe
利。
with a
再次
Battle
祝贺
Fury.
你们。那么至
That's
此
not，
本次 MDL 电
Please
竞精英战到此圆满落幕。再次恭喜 LGD 战队斩获冠军。那么也要感谢从小组赛以来一直陪伴我们的玩家朋友们，也要感谢冒着酷暑来到现场观看比赛的各位观众。正是因为有着你们的激情，让我们离宇宙中心最近的城市长沙感受到了电竞之都的别样魅力。最后，也祝愿所有的中国战队
Well, and I
能在
think
GI 8上
with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to finish off a pretty magical run from LGD. Got to be said. From the best of ones after a very rough group stage, all the way to here, only dropping a single game, and that wasn't even in the grand finals.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
And TNC still the only team to take a game from them in the entire playoff.
Right.
And that game was like a miracle comeback as well,
Mhm.
and that was just
Yeah.
that was almost like the other team making a sick play to make the comeback rather than LGD not performing.
And I think that's the biggest, like from my experience, like playing on LAN, the big change when you go up against like a true tier 1 team in comparison to others, and what really separates teams like LGD, Liquid, VP, when you always think, okay, they're going to be in contention to win, because they don't give you anything for free. You've got to earn it. They're not going to give you a crazy favorable lane matchup that you can snowball a game from. They're not going to leave themselves with no win conditions. They're not going to buy terrible items, and they're not going to give away free fights. You need to play as well as they do to beat them, and you make 2 mistakes. That's it. LGD's back in power, and you cannot stop the machine.
I was going to extend upon that, but he started that point with experience on land, and here I am.
Hey, you played in that one in LA.
You have
That is true.
experience in LAN right now. Look at that.
This is true, yeah,
And
yeah.
you were- Hey, we're in major finals.
I was up on the big screen that one time. No, I just want to say that, like, watching these games, like, whenever I'm watching any qualifiers, any tournaments, if it's a tier 1 team, it's almost like you know what to expect a lot of the time, because from a bird's eye view, it's much easier to see exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and they just do it. And you're just like, yep, that's right, okay. And they're doing it while they're playing, while they're, like, worried about all these things going on in a game. And sometimes, like, these teams, you're like, this game's going to go differently than we expect because random mistakes will be made. Like, factors you can't think about, factors that you can't consider because of player or human error. And then you just watch these tier 1 teams, it's just like, they're going to worry about Roche. They're going to make sure they get it. They're going to go high ground. They're going to itemize. Like, it's an interesting game. Like, when I say itemize, it's like Lycan's a hero that almost always goes AC. But the Quap, who has the farm, gets the AC while the Lycan goes back for a BKB. That's like a small little example of these players know. Like, they have no BKB piercing damage, so we just get 3 BKBs. The hero that would normally build this item, we still need it, so we're going to buy it.
Yeah.
But
Shiva's on the Razor.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just all these
It's all
little
intuitive.
things. Yep.
Yep.
It's just adjusting on the fly, and so much to learn from these players. Like,
Makes you want to go home and play Dota even though it's 6 a.m. doesn't it?
seriously. And then you go home, you play one pub, and you're like, it's already ruined.
Yeah.
But
still a beautiful game. I love watching it, love casting it. It's been a pleasure to be here with you guys, and maybe not Kyle, but
Well, let's do a couple little
tolerable.
sign-offs. The game finishing off here. Final thoughts, major takeaways. I know you guys gave a little bit of a spiel, but any final things that you sort of feel to wrap this up?
The addition of all these new items, the new deny mechanic, it feels like in Dota right now there's a lot more boxes to check if you want to have a shot at winning like real consistently against top level competition. And it's the same way you win games. The formula hasn't changed, but there's a hell of a lot more ways to lose them nowadays, and a lot more things you need to keep in check within your own team to ensure that you even have a prayer at beating a team of the caliber of LGD. What items, what lanes are you playing? What timings do you take? What objectives? When do you hit them? Like having a draft that like flows and gives you win. There's so much. I could make like 7 videos on different mechanics in Dota right
Do
now.
it. I'm sure people would appreciate it.
Nah, man.
I'm sure at least 10 people would watch them.
This is the culmination of I think 23-day road trip for me. 3 events in a row. I think in total I've casted or paneled on about 125 games.
Okay.
I'm going to go home. I'm going to sleep for about a week. And as much as I would love to go play some Dota, I think I need a little R&R. But it's been excellent, working with you guys, having a good time. And Dota's in a really cool place at the moment. And I look forward to the Super Major and then, of course, TI qualifiers, TI. And who knows? Maybe I'll see you guys there.
Yeah, I just think, these 2-week patches have put such a just thrown a weird wrench into these professional Dota 2 games, and I love the fact that these tournaments have like their own metas where random heroes become popular, then they get figured out, and then not so popular anymore, and these teams have their identities, and you just see, I love, now that the system's new, seeing a team like LGD have their own identity, but the way they adjust is just that much better than a team like VGJ. Both teams have their identity, and it's just like, when me and Kyle were talking about the draft, it just feels like LGD is just like reading VGJ.Storm. Like, we know where you're going to pick this. We're going to then pick this, and we don't care. And it's just like all your good options, they're batting as Razor. So we're just going to let you pick it. Boom, Razor. And it's
the only comment I have is I still feel like LGD still was somewhat predictable in that, we're saying they're going to first pick DP. They do. Oh, they leave Clock. You have second ban as VGJ. If you don't ban Clock, they pick Clock. Like, I think that if you game plan for them, the same way VP started declining, maybe they got cocky, who knows, but they weren't able to just get away with the same patterns because they were recognized. They had won 2 majors. There's Dota buffs of them now, and the Kings inevitably crumble because that's the team that you come prep for. And I think that anyone going to the Super Major, you got to be looking out for LGD as the new
They will have the targets, and they will be definitely the most studied team out there.
Yep.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give some shout-outs right now to all the wonderful people that have been involved in this. Of course, the production folks behind the scenes been doing a great job of bringing everything to the table.
Rob, Nate, Dakota, and Gods for coming on and helping.
Exactly.
Grant had to leave early, but hopefully he's at a party
he's
somewhere.
He
ran
ran
off to
concert.
Vegas.
He's fine.
He's in Vegas.
Chef Josh at home.
Most definitely.
And the lovely viewers. Dota 2 community, a wonderful place. Twitch chat. Redditors, you guys all have a special place in my heart. Upstanding members of what could just be the best esport in the world.
Oh, my goodness. Well, and with that, I think that we're going to call it off. Again, MDL After Dark. It's been a lovely time, but we will be bidding you adieu and see you next time for some more great Dota 2 action. Have a good one.